Winning comes in all shapes and sizes. It's different for everyone. One thing is certain. Every day there's an opportunity for a win. Just like scratchers from the Virginia Lottery. Everyday grab and go. Everyday giftable. Everyday fun. It's where anticipation meets instant gratification. Like the new Virginia Lottery Scratcher High Roller Blackjack with a chance to win up to 10 times your prize. Now, that's an everyday win. Drive to a retailer near you. Odds of winning any prize, 1 in 4.16.
Hello, how are you?
Absolutely fantastic, and I hope you are as well.
Oh, I am.
Man, I love what you are doing with Hotwire in the way that you are activating the summer vacation in the way of it's like, okay, guys, we can't sit around this year. We've got to get involved with everything that's going on around us.
Exactly. It's time, right? It's time to get back out there. It's summer. And there's, a whole wide world that's just opening up to us.
You know what's really interesting? I don't know what it's like on your side of the world, but it seems like, people are aware that the summer months are here, but they need to be coached. They need to be shown the way that let's don't sit around. Let's really find things to do. And I don't want to say that we're getting lazy, but we have gotten lazy.
Yeah, well, and that's why, some of these things we're going to be chatting about, it kind of helps you it lets you be lazy because it kind of does all the work for you, but it gives you that initiative to finally get back out there.
Now, who came up with this idea about creating with TikTok? Because this is really in touch with every generation. Everybody knows what TikTok is, and boy, we can create with this, which could lead to something very good.
Well, TikTok is all the rage. Now, are you on TikTok?
I am.
It's so fun, right? I mean, it's not only can you have so much fun making videos, but I mean, even just scrolling videos, all of a sudden you're like, wait, did 3 hours just go by? But it's such a blast. And with this challenge, it's really letting you kind of create a fun video, but also gives you a chance to win a $50,000 dream vacation with a private jet experience. So, there's a huge incentive there, but you get to show yourself, like even just from home, like on your couch, transport yourself to your dream vacation destination using their green screen feature. And, it's just, you're showing us your Hotwire hotel goals and get to potentially win that $50,000 vacation, private jet, and, to learn exactly how to enter and all the steps, you just go to hotwire.com/bookbeyond.
Well, I love the way that Hotwire is interactively involved because, it's where we are and it's on that smart device or even on that computer and things like that. My question is that as we go into the vacation mode and we're inspired to grow, those out-of-town restaurants and businesses, they're okay. They've got enough people to take care of us, right?
Yeah, and I would say anticipate the fact that you're just going to maybe have a little bit more patience than you typically would. A lot of times they're maybe a little short-staffed, but they're really doing the best that they can. They're working really, really hard. Every restaurant I've been to, maybe they've got one person or two people fewer than they typically do. So maybe the wait's like a tiny bit longer, but everyone's just so happy to be out right now that it doesn't matter. It's just pretend like you're in Europe. That's how you do it. Just pretend you're in Europe. Instead of a 1 hour dinner, you're planning a 2 hour dinner.
I've noticed a lot of people wanting to get outside and enjoy nature. I've been an RVer now for 12 years, but the RV camps right now are full of a lot of newbies. But it creates conversation because those that are experienced with it get to have conversation with those that are struggling with it.
Yeah, now, I am not an RVer, although it's been one thing that I've been really wanting to do, but it's so interesting because that has been a huge thing during the pandemic. Even in the very early stages of the pandemic, people that still wanted to travel, that's the way they were doing it because they felt safe, they didn't have to interact with a lot of other people, and they could get out and enjoy nature and still do it safely.
So now one of the things that the Charlotte Observer has been really big on the past couple of days is that they're saying that at Charlotte Douglas, you got to get there early because there's going to be a lot of people. Well, Kelly, where's everybody going? Nobody's talking about where they're going. They're just taking off.
Well, it's because so recently, so many different countries have opened up. I'm talking in like the last 2 weeks. There's been a flood. Yesterday, Spain just opened. This week, Switzerland opened. Italy just changed their requirements this last week. So many countries are opening up, and so people are realizing that there's such great deals, like if you book right away, that they're just they're like, all right, should we just pick up and go to Europe like this week? So that's what's happening. And I mean, obviously domestic travel too. There is that flood of people because people are like, wait, I can go places now, and I just got vaccinated, so I can get out there and see the world again. And why waste time?
Yeah. And one of the things, I mean, I see a lot of families doing things together. In every one of these cities that we can travel to, there's still a lot of, it's almost like we've been given a rebirth here in the way of saying, it's not just about me, it's about family, it's about friends.
Yeah, and that's a great way to get back out there. That's something that I'm going to be taking advantage of over the next couple weeks, actually. Like next week, I'm going to Chicago to see my family, and then I'm going to a music festival where I'm finally getting together with a ton of friends again. I mean, that's always my biggest way is to experience travel, is to bring like food, travel, and music together at a music festival. And finally, those are happening again this summer. I mean, last summer, there wasn't, I mean, all the biggest music festivals in the world were canceled, and now they're all happening again. So it's really, really exciting. It's a great time to be able to spend time with kids, friends, and family.
Interesting that you bring up Chicago, because the band was just in Charlotte a couple of nights ago, and it was quite the experience to round the corner, and all of a sudden you see, whoa, there's people here. Do we have PTSD when it comes to people? Because, you know, if people are going to go to Yellowstone National Park to see Old Faithful, don't be afraid to meet people from other countries.
Right, and you know, it's one of those things where I personally thought I was going to have a little bit more PTSD and like a little bit of agoraphobia and, you know, social phobia, kind of getting back out there. But for me, it went away really quickly. I was actually at dinner last night, and I was saying to a friend, you know, I met some people, and, you know, I shook hands right away, and I'm like, I thought the shaking hands thing was kind of going away, and it's amazing how quickly that came back.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the second we got back out there, I think we were just craving that connection.
Oh, and plus on top of that, I love the idea that I can see people with makeup on now, with women and stuff like that. Is because I mean, you can see that beautiful smile. You can see, and you know, instead of reading people's eyes, I never mastered the art of reading eyes. What about you?
Nor did I. And I always felt, you know, like I would always smile at people with my mask on, and they would just kind of look at me, and I'm like, oh, they don't know that I'm smiling. They probably think I'm not friendly. I'm like, hi, I'm smiling. Like literally, I would say like, hi, I'm smiling.
What is your research showing as to where people are going? Are they just hanging around the city, or are they really taking the big leaps and bounds of going places?
I think it's both. I think it's a personal preference depending on your comfort level and where. I mean, most states are open to other domestic travelers. You know, there's some restrictions here and there. You're going to want to check your local websites before you go. But I would say that it's a lot of city centers. I mean, I was just in New York last week. It was very bustling. I would say that with the Uber situation and the rental car shortage, the big cities are doing really well because people want to be somewhere where they can walk everywhere.
Yeah. What about, you know, for parents whose kids have, you know, kind of taken a tumble when it comes to educational things? There's a lot of things for the kids out there to learn without stuffing it down their throat, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think you kind of nailed it with like the national parks and kind of getting back out there in nature. You know, a lot of museums are opening up now. I mean, even if you want to do more kind of fun activities like even theme parks and water parks, I mean, they're all open again, where, you know, if this was last summer, that was not the case. Yeah,
it's such a shock. It's one of those things where it's like that really did happen, right? So now what is Hotwire doing on the website where people can just easily go there and to find out more information? Because, you know, we have to be engaged by the internet all the time.
Exactly. Well, what Hotwire is so great at is they have their hot rate deals, which are their mystery deals.
Yeah.
So you can get a 60% off on hotels, even last minute. And I've used this myself personally at least 10 times. And so you don't know the exact hotel you're getting until after you book, but you get to put in all of your important parameters like specific location and star level and amenities. So you know you're going to get a hotel that you want. And every time I've ever done it, I've never been disappointed. And it's a great way now to book beyond your wildest means.
It's so true, because that's how I get out to Montana all the time, as I go to Hotwire. That is my connection.
Yeah, there you go.
I love
Perfect.
it. You got to come back to this show anytime in the future, Kelly. The door is always going to be open for you.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. Happy travels to you.
Oh, same to you. And be brilliant today, okay?
Oh, thank you. You too. Thanks so much.
Hey, do you love a good story? Great. Then you got to check out the #Storytime podcast. Each episode brings you the craziest, creepiest, and cringiest stories from YouTube, TikTok, Reddit, and beyond.
My story is about the time that I was broken up with at the 9/11 memorial. Twice.
Look, the internet is a dumpster full of stories, and I, your host, Will McFadden, dive in headfirst, sift through the flaming trash, and bring you nothing but treasures. Listen to all 21 episodes of #Storytime now on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.